Okay, guys, we are recording, and Sarah Taylor here wanted to get on here today and talk to you guys about building a legacy company or a legacy team. This topic has been something that has been kind of going around in my head. The concept of this whole legacy team idea and this legacy company is something that's been going around in my head for quite some time. And I've been kind of brainstorming, okay, what are the ways that I can make sure that my team is a legacy team? And what I mean by that is that my team, I want to get to a point with our team, and you all want to get to a point with your teams, that in this business, you have a legacy team. And what I mean by a legacy team is a team that stands the test of time, a team that is with you and consistent and stays with you regardless of the environment or the season that your business is in. So a team that sticks by when there's changes in regulations, a team that sticks by when there's outside influences and issues that you're dealing with, a team that sticks by regardless of whether or not you guys are in full-on momentum or not. You want to build that solid foundational basis for your team. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, how to build your team the right way, how to build a team that will be there for years to come, how to build a team that's going to provide residual income and will realistically be something that you can pass along to your kids. Because we all know in Plexus, one of the most amazing things that we can do is we can actually will our businesses to our children. And for me, that is an incredible draw. I obviously have 2 kids. And so I want this to be something that they could possibly take over in the future or that could benefit them in the years to come. Something that can help them after I'm gone. But in order to do that, you obviously want to have a business and a team that is sustainable. And so today we're going to talk about what all goes into that and how to build your team and a team culture that will be sustainable and will stand the test of time. And I think that there's a lot of different things that can go into that. And the first, there's the love of the products goes into that, how you're actually building, what steps you're taking to build your team culture, your duplication, and all of those types of things. So I'm going to start out by talking about the solid foundation that you want to build in your business. So like I said, a couple different things go into that. And the first thing in my mind is the very, very largest thing that you can do for your team to build them a very, very solid foundation is to build a team of product enthusiasts. If you have a team of people that are absolutely in love with the products, that cannot live without our products, and that are getting amazing results, those people, regardless of how much the business is exploding or not exploding, are going to stick around regardless because they are in love with the products. They're getting fabulous results with the products. And they have an unwavering belief in these products that they are going to continue to share them even through downturns, seasons, that type of thing. So one of the biggest goals that we can have in our business is to make sure that every single person on our team, whether they're business builders, customers, wholesalers, what have you, every single person on our team has the best testimony that they can possibly get. Not only do they have the best testimony that they can possibly get, but they have an unwavering belief and an understanding of what our products are capable of. So, when we're talking about that, I think a lot of us get sucked into this whole idea of how can I find business builders? How can I find business builders? But you guys, business builders come from people that love the products. I would venture to guess that probably about 95% of you guys signed up to be wholesale ambassadors, or at least signed up to be customers first and then moved on to becoming an ambassador because you fell in love with the products. So you've got to get into that mindset of no matter who joins your team, you want to provide them so much support and make it your unwavering desire to get them the best possible testimony that you possibly can. That simple fact is going to keep them there and keep them steady on the products and build their desire to want to build this business, And so whether their business is exploding or not exploding, they're not going anywhere because they adore these products and they need these products and they're having success with these products. So as you're building your team and as you're building your business and even your team page and your team threads, just your the way that you're communicating with your team, having that as one of the most front and center goals that you can each and every month, and as opposed to looking at this as a business based on points and income and those kinds of things, having this business built on this unwavering belief in these products is going to be what sees your business through. So it's that foundational love of the products and getting them their best testimony, and just building that solid belief in your people from that perspective. Another way that we can build this legacy company and this group of people that's going to be here with us building for so long is kind of relates back to how we build. So I'm going to go over a couple different topics within the how we build part. One of the biggest things that, we just talked about, that love of the products and that love of, and that getting them a great testimony. Something that we don't, I think, realize sometimes is it goes back to that very first initial conversation that we have while we're courting our potentials. So those very first conversations when they reach out to us, if we are looking at it from a salesman perspective versus a consultant perspective, that can go very, very differently. If you're consulting with somebody, you're giving them a solution to the problems that they're bringing to you, and you're talking through the products in a calm manner and a thorough manner, and talking to them about what these products can do for them. You're not providing them a one-size-fits-all solution, but you're providing them a custom solution. Even if you predominantly always give the triplex as your recommendation, you're being thorough in your conversation with them, and you're telling them, and you're setting the right expectations. So it's literally every single communication that you can possibly have with these people is a very thorough consultative approach to this sale, because as these people then join your team, that's what they're going to remember, and that's what they're going to duplicate. A lot of times we think about duplication as the processes that we have on the team page for onboarding somebody and that type of thing, but duplication is a pretty abstract concept that goes back even to those initial conversations that you have with your personally sponsored ambassadors and customers, because you don't realize when that person is going to turn into a business builder, and they're going to copy exactly how they were recruited into this business, if that makes sense. So being that consultant and making their results and their goals the focal point of that conversation, and what's in it for them, and how you can help them with these products and how these products are going to work for them, as opposed to them coming to you and saying, I want to lose weight, and you saying, okay, the triplex, to try the triplex, this is how you go and sign up and do it. It's having that thorough conversation with them, and getting them in on that 90-day commit. So this topic of conversation, this 90-day commit, is a big one, because we all know that our products are not immediate results. These are not instant gratification types of products. A lot of people have great results in their first month, but a lot of people don't start having their great results until 60 days in, a couple months in. So in those initial conversations, when we're being that consultant, we have to provide them with the full information and not be scared to say, you guys need to commit for 90 days. Now, one of the best ways to do that is to sit there and to talk to them about that 90-day commit and what that's going to look like. When you're talking to them and they're saying, okay, I think I want to sign up for the ambassador route for the discount. At that point, you say, okay, say you've given them triplex. You have to say, are you willing to spend $110 a month every month for the next 3 months? Is that in your budget? Is that something that you think that you can handle? If they say no, then you dial it back and you say, okay, how can you handle that? Or what amount can you handle from a budget perspective? Get them on something that they can actually do for 90 days, because if they take triplex for 1 month and then they can't afford it the next, it doesn't do anybody a lot of good, right? Keep those people as a customer. But if they can commit to at least 90 days on the product, then there you go. And being bold to have that conversation. If they come back and they say, you know what, I can only sign up for $50 a month realistically, Get them on, you know, the product that you feel gives them the most bang for their buck according to their goals, and get them signed up as a preferred customer at that point. You don't want this to be a situation where they start it and then stop it immediately. We want that 90-day commit, because that's where those results happen. That's where those goals happen. And if they're purchasing as an ambassador under 100 PV, it doesn't benefit them financially. I'll post something in our team, in Team Taylor, after this to kind of break that down for you and show you the break-even point where it makes sense for somebody to sign up to be an ambassador if they're ordering over 100 PV for them, for their pocketbook. So we don't want them wasting any kind of money on this, and we want it to be something that they can sustain for 90 days, whether they're a customer or whether they're an ambassador. And if we can sit down and talk to them about possibly getting one customer, if they really do need the triplex, getting them one customer to use as a means to get the products a little bit cheaper, that's a whole nother conversation you can have. But we have to be bold in that conversation, because they have to have those expectations that this is a 90-day commitment, and they are going to be consistent for 90 days in order to get those great results. That duplicates down. That conversation and that way of building duplicates down, and it alleviates so much frustration in our new ambassadors, and it alleviates so much frustration in ourselves too, because we don't want to waste our time bringing people on that truly cannot afford to take these products. We need to meet them where they are at and have those bold and honest conversations. If you are brand new, I know that these conversations can seem very daunting, but that is absolutely when you bring in your upline to those conversations and involve them in a three-way chat. Okay, so it's all in that how you build. We're talking about that topic, how you build, and being bold in having those expectation conversations, and being bold in those initial conversations, and being very thorough. Okay, so that's one part of that. The other part of how you build is how you attract people onto your team, how you are building your team, how you are adding to your team. Incentives, I'm going to talk about this topic because I love it. Incentives are fabulous and amazing, but you don't want to overuse them, okay? They're a tool that we can use when our business needs it. But using them every single month or for every single person that joins your team is not a sustainable business practice. So I want you guys to realize that. Incentives are a tool for growth and to market and to gain interest, but they are to be used sparingly, okay? Not every single person that signs up needs to have an incentive. So save yourself that money and save yourself you know, that heartache, because you want to be very, very strategic in how you use these incentives. That's going to duplicate down as well. All of these types of things are duplicating down. Now, I'm going to talk about a subject that is a little bit controversial, but I'm very passionate about it because I think that this goes into that legacy company so much, and it impacts team culture so much. So I'm going to talk about building with welcome packs, okay? So welcome packs, as you guys know, are a very big part of our compensation plan. We get paid on welcome packs for personally sponsored ambassadors through level 4, and those come on our checks every Friday. They are an incredible source of income, and they are mutually beneficial. They're beneficial to the sponsoring ambassador, and they're beneficial to the person signing up because they're getting a deal on their products, and they're getting a success guide, which our success guides are incredible. So I have heard of a lot of teams skipping welcome packs in order to get the points instead, where I do think that there's a time and a place for that, maybe on the last day of the month, so as you don't, you know, miss a rank by a couple points. What I don't think is a sustainable business practice, and I'll go into this a little bit deeper. I know this is a delicate subject, but what I don't think is a sustainable business practice is to skip welcome packs for entire months. And the reason being that can impact your culture, your team culture over the long term. If you think about it, when you are encouraging your entire team to skip welcome packs and running contests based on skipping welcome packs and encouraging that, you're not leading with what's in the best interest of the new ambassador signing up and the person sponsoring that person signing up. The sponsor loses out in that situation, and it almost forces you into having to incentivize people to sign up on your team every single time, incentives for every single person signing up. And in the end, it creates a culture of self-promotion, of ranking advanced at all costs, and not necessarily the team culture that you want. So I think that that is a really big, it's something to really, really strongly consider when you go down that path, because the way our comp plan is set up truly benefits. These welcome packs are a true benefit, an income producer, and doing it the right way for every single person involved. So you've got to think about that first impression. First impressions are huge. And when somebody is signing up for the very first time and you're encouraging them to skip the welcome pack, which is the better deal for them, and maybe you're incentivizing them to do so, later on down the road, they're going to realize at some point that you were used as a tool for their self-benefit. And that's not a cool feeling to have as the first person signing up. And then that duplicates down and it becomes ingrained in their view of your team and their view of the team culture. And they become almost like a commodity on your team, that feeling. Now, I'm not saying that happens every time, but that chips away at your team culture. So I do think that signing with welcome packs and building your team the right way with welcome packs is a really, really big deal. It's that whole duplication thing that you don't realize how much goes into duplication at every single turn within your business. And we want to create a culture of people building ethically, people building with integrity, of that servant mentality leadership. Okay, and that is a sustainable team culture. One where you're linking arms and you're growing the right way is a sustainable team culture. So next, I'm going to talk about our convenience order. Corporate executives just changed the verbiage at sign up for our backup orders and our auto qual orders to now call it a convenience order. And I think this was genius on their part, because this is exactly what it is. The convenience order is critical for each of your new ambassadors. It goes back to that 90-day commit that we talked about. The convenience order is critical for it to be on for your ambassadors to remain consistent. Not only is it critical for them to have it on, but it's critical for their testimony. Think about everything that you're doing in terms of getting them a business testimony, getting them a product testimony. You want both of those things for your ambassadors, and that convenience order fits into both of those categories. So it has to be talked about at the sign-up process, and it has to be talked about within that 90-day commit conversation. So signing people with their convenience order on is a very, very, very critical part of a long-term sustainable business, because you want those testimonies, you want that the commitment, and you want the consistency in taking their products. Now, impacting attrition. That is obviously part of building a legacy business as well. And everything that I just talked about kind of fits into that as well. But one of the biggest things that I see, and this is something I've noticed over the course of time, is our ambassadors to gold, that grouping of ambassadors on our team, has the highest attrition on any team, because number one, they're the largest group of people on the team, but then number two, that's the time period when it's very easy to quit. It's very easy to give up on whether it's the business or the products. And so it goes back to we need to get them the best check that they possibly can. If these are business building ambassadors in the ambassador to gold range, we need to be helping them get 500 PV a month. I think it's very, very easy for us to say, well, grow a team, sponsor, get to silver. And while those things are important, it is equally important for that group of people to get PV, because that is going to be the majority of their check. Getting them that 500 PV is going to impact them and build their belief in what our comp plan is truly capable of, more so than gaining a couple ambassadors. Because if you think about it, if you have 5 ambassadors on your team at using a $3 pay point, think about what that gives them as far as, you know, the $75, okay? That's a $75 check. But if they have 3 ambassadors and 500 PV, that check is significantly more, okay? So I just want you guys to kind of think through that as you're helping your team grow and really qualifying those people that are signing up. Can they commit to 90 days at 110? You know, can they commit to ordering every single month? Then yes, those are people that you want to sign up as ambassadors. But if they are going to sign up and order just 90 PV, suddenly your ambassador has lost out on a preferred customer, and they've lost out on that pay point, or on those pay points from those people, and that's not helping them at all. So it's really, really qualifying who needs to be an ambassador and who needs to be a customer, and putting some importance back on in that particular group of people on our team, putting that importance back on helping them get customers, because that right there is going to hold them over as they, in their quest for gold. They're going to be getting great paychecks as they move from silver to gold and so on. So I just think that really, really help keeping that front and center and putting that importance back on the customer just as much as the ambassador, okay? So that's a big one. And then, of course, impacting attrition. I've talked about the 90-day commit a lot, but it's such a big deal. And I think that verbiage about, you know, can you commit to $110 a month? If not, let's have that conversation, okay? And then building their belief in the product as well is such a big deal, even through your team page. I think it's very, very easy to focus our team pages on only building the business. However, having that product support and having that product knowledge and having that wholesaler support, considering 95% of our ambassadors on our team pages are wholesalers, we need to be supporting them on our team pages as well, and making that a big part of it. Okay, so all of this is talking about building the legacy business, building a business that is sustainable, building a business that is built on a solid foundation, a foundation of product belief, a foundation of consistent ambassadors, a foundation of people that are building the right way in our business, and a foundation that allows us to not just hit a rank one time and then fall back, but to hit a rank and then continue to keep hitting ranks. So not ranking at all costs, but ranking the right way. I hope this kind of helps everybody kind of see that over the course of time, it might be more difficult to build in that manner, but it's sustainable and it helps you stay around forever and helps you build that legacy business. So I'm going to turn off the recording now and go ahead and do a Q&A.